The Winter Olympics are here, and Jamaica is representing with a bobsled team for the 2014 Games, and it's taking place in Sochi, Russia. And no, this is not a spoof off of the 1993 movie Cool Runnings. This is the real deal. Back in 1988, the Jamaican bobsled team first debuted at Calgary, and their participation has been noted as a historic experience, especially given that Jamaica is a tropical island. Since then, the team competed in 1995, 1998, and in 2002. Now, in 2014, four-time competitor Winston Watts, along with Marvin Dixon, will represent Jamaica in the bobsled competition in Sochi, Russia. Initially, this year's team faced financial difficulties surrounding travel and equipment costs for their trip and feared that they would not be able to take part in the Winter Olympics. But through an internet fundraising campaign, the duo team surpassed their $80,000 goal and are ready to compete. Back in 1994, the team did indeed surprise everyone and came 14th place, outbeating the US, Russia, France, Australia, and 2 Canadian teams. So we're definitely hoping and wishing them all the best for this year's Winter Olympics. In other news throughout the Caribbean, over 400,000 people are left without water after a 48-inch water main erupted a few days ago in northern Trinidad. Officials from the country's Water and Sewerage Authority are said to be doing their best to control the crisis and lessen the inconvenience for civilians and businessmen in the area. Emergency water relief systems have been put in place, which will supply truck-borne water to high-priority establishments in the area, such as hospitals, elderly homes, and schools, as well as homes in the area. Barbados is being recognized for the country's accommodating services for the disabled. Earlier this week, a group of post-polio senior citizens from Florida visited Barbados in what is being described as a revolutionizing experience. The group arrived on board the Celebrity Equinox cruise ship and was met with disabled access vans, which took them on tours throughout the country. The Minister of Tourism and the Barbados Council for the Disabled has a joint ministry called Fully Accessible Barbados, which is dedicated to making the entire country accessible for the disabled, and it is their goal to market the country to tourists as such. Haiti and the Dominican Republic are still resolving matters surrounding DR's court ruling, which stripped the citizenship rights from Haitians living in DR. But the two countries are coming together for something quite interesting. Earlier this week, Haitian and Dominican Republican representatives from agro-food groups met to strategize a plan that would set forth a project to plant millions of coconut trees in Haiti and in the DR. There are already a reported 1 million coconut trees in Haiti and a reported 2 million in the DR, but the goal is to have 8 million total between the two countries. The incentive of this project is said to be in preparation for contributing efforts to global distributor Coca-Cola's upcoming plans to launch coconut-based products. Who doesn't enjoy a nice, relaxing evening watching HGTV, looking at all the Kool-Aid days that you can use to upgrade your home, or learning a thing or two about home buying and the process and how it goes? I know I do. Well, in a couple of weeks, on February 25th at 10:30 p.m. Eastern Pacific Time, you can watch the network's episode of House Hunters International, which will be taking place in Dominica. That would make the second time the House Hunters International took place in the country. It first occurred back in 2011. That does it for us this week here on Your Caribbean News and Culture. But before we go to break, we have to take time to wish Grenada a happy Independence Day. February 7th marks the country's 30th year of independence.
You're on your way to meet up with friends, but you you can't seem to get anywhere quickly. You don't want your friends to be annoyed, so you text. You're on your way. Five seconds is the average time your eyes are off the road while texting while driving. Make sure you get where you're going.
Will spend 15 minutes watching online videos like this one.
Brushing for 2 minutes now can save your child from severe tooth pain later. 2 minutes, twice a day. They have the time.
So, I got this new family, and I don't know what it is about this one, but she can't seem to put down that toy all day long. Tap, 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 tap. Oh, and she even talks to it. She talks to that more than she talks to him. What's up, bro? Nice shirt. Who's she talking to? Her mom? She talks to her mom a lot.
Welcome back to your Caribbean News and Culture, everyone. It's time for a culture chat. Joining us this week on our Culture Chat, we have Candace Morales and Ian Powell. Welcome.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here.
Thank you so much for being here. Now, we're going to talk about all things Caribbean American.
Word.
Okay. All right. Now, first off, you are, I like the way you described it.
I'm Jamaican and Cape Verdean.
Okay, now what was the funny thing?
I'm Jafaican.
Jafaican.
I was born right here.
Okay.
Yes.
And Candace?
I'm American. My parents are Jamaican, so I say I'm Jamaican.
Okay.
But everyone else would say, no, you're American.
Right. Now, talk to me a little bit about that difference. Why is it that you identify as being Jamaican, even though you were born here in America?
Because I was raised with a Jamaican culture. Everything that I grew up knowing was Jamaican, the food we ate, the way we talked, the things that we did, so I never really identified with being American.
Okay. Now, Ian, for you, you have two spectrums to look at. So what was that like for you?
I mean, I was born right here in Dorchester, and my mother's Cape Verdean, so my Cape Verdean family's here in Boston. My Jamaican family is in Jamaica and Florida. So I didn't have that, so it's caused for me to reach more out into my culture and my roots, and I identify with that because that's where I come from, and who dare tell me I'm not?
Right, exactly. I like that. Who dare just say that? Now, talk to me a little bit about the experiences that you've endured having to deal with, in essence, two identities.
Oh, man. Well, you get made fun of sometimes because people don't really understand what it means to be of a different culture, I guess. The food we eat, like if I bring food to school, if I bring,
those lunch
we
boxes.
say bully beef or something, I've been told that looks like dog food or whatever.
It tastes good.
Yeah.
And just to piggyback more what Candace said, from food to clothing to music, it's really just identifying with your culture. Again, like I will be quick to say I'm Jamaican and Cape Verdean versus that I'm black. Not that there's a problem with being black. Black is beautiful, but it's more of a cultural difference because I have more flavor, and that's it. That's what I have to contribute, and that's what I have to offer.
Now, for you specifically, do you just split it down the middle 50-50? Do you feel connected to one side more than you do the next?
Depends on the mood that I'm in, but it's 50-50.
Okay.
Yeah, it is 50-50.
All right, now it's February. We're celebrating Black History Month. Right? Power to the people.
Proud to the people.
So talk to me a little bit about, because in essence, when I think Black history for myself, I associate it with an American struggle. But that doesn't necessarily mean that it's disconnected from the Caribbean struggle, because we too endured situations, you know what I mean? And, you know, if you bring it back to like those bubbles we fill out when you've taken any standardized test,
I can't say those.
it's black or other, you know what I mean? So talk to me a little bit about the historic element and how you connect with that, or deal with that rather.
I think that's really easy. I was listening to NPR radio the other day, and I don't really remember the topic, but what I left with is they asked him, what are you doing for Black History Month in that sense? And he said, you know what, let's bring it back to Africa. We want to reach back to the motherland and those sorts, just to find your roots. And again, being Jamaican, you always hear Selassie, I respect Ethiopia and, you know, the motherland. So that's like where I like to venture, or at least to start from. And Black culture, or African American history, or however you want to spin it, it's so rich and diverse. So throughout the diaspora, you know, pick your stream, you know what I mean? And if even it's not yours, identify with it, because it's, I mean, we could go to the pyramids and talk about math, and we could go further and further, you know what I mean? I'm more interested in what I don't know versus, no disrespect to Martin Luther King and Malcolm X, but those are the ones you're more exactly
with. That's what you're taught in school.
That's what you're taught in school.
Exactly.
Yeah. What about you, Candace?
I agree with Ian, especially when he says, you know, Jamaicans are always talking about going back to Africa and such, but I didn't really know much about Black history from my parents or my Jamaican family. Like, I more learned that on the American side of things, like from school and such.
Absolutely. Now, let's talk a little bit about cultural elements here in Boston, right? Now, I feel as though, you know, sometimes when you're in school, for me personally, I went to a predominantly white school in Weston, Mass.
Okay.
So I was in no way, shape, or form connected to, you know what I mean? All I got was when I came home, that's what it was. But from your experiences in school, coming up, we're all young adults now, probably pushing 30 and whatnot. Right?
I can't agree.
Do you?
I'm sorry.
You're not going to hop into pushing 30?
No,
I'm not far
not yet.
behind. I'm not far behind.
I got
Now,
some years.
do you feel that, in essence, some of the people who may have made fun of it in the past, like, they kind of want to rap now? What's up with that?
Perfect example, Carnival. Everyone has a flag of Carnival, but the next day they're American or they're Black.
Or I've heard people say, oh, what should I be this year at Carnival? Like, should I wear a Trinidadian flag or a Jamaican flag? Yeah.
That's a really great example.
Insane.
Yeah.
Just picking one.
Right.
Oh, and I get teased if I wear my Cape Verdean flag at Mass too. So,
okay.
I mean, I wear both. But.
Right.
What's funny is when I was younger, because people made fun of it so much because it was so different, I kind of pushed away from it. You know, like, I had a lot of Spanish friends, so I kind of, okay, let me eat Spanish food, let me listen to Spanish music. But as I got older and I started to realize this is who I am, you know, this is what makes me me, I started to accept it more.
And you embrace
and
it.
now I see it more than ever before. Like you said, everyone wants to be this
they
or
want to
that.
be something.
Yeah,
like
or they're listening to the music.
I think I got it from a Machel Montana song. And it's People Without a Culture is a People Without a Soul. And that's something that I really stick by. Like, I love that I have a cultural element to me. I think it shapes your perspective for certain things, and it's just more fun.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, let's talk about something a little more on the serious side. Caribbean Americans, or, you know, people that were probably born here but identify with their Caribbean descendants. Do you feel that in the Boston community, there's enough going on in terms of the upliftment of young Caribbean Americans? Now, you two, we can mention this now. You actually have a show.
Yes.
Also. On
Loud Minds TV.
Right. Talk to us about what the show is about first.
So Loud Minds TV is a talk show that me, myself, and Candace started almost 2 years ago now. And essentially, we just like talking to people. So it's based off of civic engagement. We love food.
Nightlife.
The nightlife and visual and performing arts. And we use it vaguely so we can swim in any stream, in a sense, because we don't want to leave anybody out, and everybody can benefit. And that's just what are primarily based off of.
Absolutely. Now, I asked for you to speak about that because as Caribbean Americans, you're doing something positive. You know what I mean? And you're doing something that benefits not only the Caribbean community, but the community at large.
Absolutely.
And for me, I personally started this show because it was a passion of mine to want to do something in the Caribbean community, something that's positive. Now, from your experiences and, producing the show for 2 years and just being around the Boston community, do you find that enough is being done?
Okay, so with our younger generation, I want to say yes. Okay. But on a mass scale, no. And I think that's why we're thriving and we're needed and it's important. And it feels a little bit intimidating, but it's needed. And things and ventures like that aren't easy. So it's kind of encouraging. It's fun, it's exciting. It's a less traveled road. But there is a large diversity of Caribbean folk here in Boston. You see more of the Irish or the Red Sox side of Boston. But if you travel south of the city, I guess, if you will, you bump into all sorts of black and brown babies and people.
Yeah. What's your take on it, Candace?
I feel like there's a separation, especially with the younger generation of people, so it's kind of hard to have that support or, to make it more visible. But I just feel like we are all different, like Jamaicans, Trinidadians, name some other ones. Bajans, exactly. I feel like even though we are different, we are all the same. Like we all come from another country or whatever, so we should support each other more.
Absolutely.
In order to make it more obvious.
Right. And like you said, there are elements that do differentiate us, but on a larger scale. And I kind of feel that people on the outside, they look at us as all one, like they're all Caribbean. But I think once you're from a particular country, you definitely identify with that. Now, you mentioned something that I kind of want to elaborate on, a gap.
Okay.
And through my experience with producing this show and, living in Boston for some time now, I find that a gap not only exists between the islands every now and then, but also there's a generational gap.
Absolutely.
Agree.
We were just having this conversation.
Yeah,
we were just having this conversation.
It's kind of cool because we're talking about Black history, and right now that's why we try to identify in the youth younger than us, because we don't feel like the older generation necessarily wants to reach out to us or we're misunderstood. Vice versa, there is a divide, and I think that should cause more for conversation and communication and us engaging with each other, not just because it's Black History Month, but furthermore, to bring it back even home, a lot of West Indian parents, regardless because of education or culture, identification, you have most of the kids picking up the weight and interacting for the household, where the parents would probably just work and just stay at home and do more of the cooking and preparation. And then what they don't realize is that we are more predominantly family-based, so like a lot of people live at home longer, and Americans like kind of look at that weird.
Oh yeah, and like you at home with your mom?
Yeah,
yes, I am.
We have strong family upbringings.
Because even back home, like I know my family personally back home, like my cousins are, in their 30s and 40s, and it's okay to still be at home. With, your boyfriend moves in and you have your kids. And,
culture shock.
That's
all it is.
Yeah.
A lot of my friends don't understand that. Like, I'm 23, and my parents are still very strict. And some people don't understand that. Like, what do you mean you can't do this? Or what do you mean? Because I'm still living under the roof of my parents. So.
And it's that respect in you.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? That for some reason you have that fear. Like
exactly.
I was going to use the word
I
fear.
still have that fear. Exactly. Sometimes I want to tell my mother, like, no, I'm 23, you can't, but I know better.
Right,
Exactly.
I keep that conversation in my head. I'm like,
I just talk to myself in the shower, like, just leave.
Exactly.
oh, don't let me suck my teeth. Stoops.
Exactly.
Stoops.
All right, we'll have more to chat about. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back.
Hey girl, ¿qué pasa? Our weekend was crazy, from what I can remember. Wait. Slow down, chica. Take it easy. A what? A picture of me? Who sent it to you? How did she get it? I'm not even friends with her. You gotta send it to me now. This must have been from Saturday night. I was so high. Who do you think got it?
Hey, Lindsay? I wish you didn't smoke weed. You're not the same when you smoke. And I miss my friend. I'll be outside.
Smoking weed hurts more than just you.
Welcome back to Euro Caribbean News and Culture, everyone. We've been spending our time chatting with Ian and Candace. Now we have to wrap things up. Before we go, run by us one more time.
So you can catch Loud Minds TV Tuesday nights at 7 o'clock. You can follow us online.
At Loud Minds TV. That's Instagram, Twitter, and then our Facebook is facebook.com/LoudMindsTV, and you can watch past episodes on YouTube.
And please like us and share the videos.
Subscribe, all that good
subscribe,
stuff.
all that. Thank you.
Well, thank you guys so much for being
Thank
here.
you for having
It's a pleasure.
us.
Absolutely. Make sure you tune in to their show and make sure you catch the repeat of this show Saturday and Sunday at 10:30 a.m. We've had a great chat.
Thank
being
you.
Caribbean Americans, you
Yes.
guys are doing your thing. Keep it
I'm
up.
sad that it's over.
I know.
It was just
We
getting
gotta
deep.
go.
Party done, party done.
Party done, exactly. All right, everyone. Thanks so much for watching. I'm Delina Ivo. Take care.